Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Thermal Master P3 thermal imaging camera. Just a tiny little 26-gram unit that plugs straight into your phone via USB-C and gives you all the information that you might need to know about temperatures at a visual glance. So let's jump into it. One thing that I do like about the Thermal Master P3 is that it's just a really tiny unit. And it's super simple to use. I'll just pull it out for you. It comes in a carry case with a custom insert. Again, it's 26 grams, just a tiny but very sophisticated piece of technology. It's just like that, it has that USB-C connector. You want to plug it into the bottom of your phone. And it's just super easy and simple to use. So, first you will need the Thermal Master app. So you just search that in the App Store here. Of course, I've already downloaded it. I'm just showing you how simple it is to pull up. See, it's right there on the screen. Just press open. And now it's already trying to connect. It's already connecting. You know, some of its competitors, that they might need you to set up a Bluetooth connection, they might need you to sign in. With Thermal Master, it's just plug in and away you go. So you already can see on the screen that it's already fired up. So let's just jump straight into the app here. You'll notice that what it's giving me is just thermal information. So you can already see in the ceiling some cool spots, some high elevated spots of temperature, like my iPhone that's filming me right now is obviously going to be much hotter than the room around it. Now, just to explain a little bit about how this thermal camera works, is it has a relative scale on the right. You'll see on the right here, just there, a relative temperature scale. Now, the thing about the scale is that these colors don't necessarily mean a particular temperature. What it actually happens is it's based upon a maximum temperature and a bottom temperature. And you'll see what I'm looking at right now, the top temperature is about 25 degrees, while the bottom temperature is about 16 degrees. If I place my hand in front of that, it's gonna change those maximum and minimum temperatures just based upon my body temperature right here. So now it's 29 degrees and 24 degrees. And so you'll find that the deepest purple is 22 degrees and the most brightest orange is 29 degrees. And again, those colors are gonna change according to the top and bottom temperatures. And that's what it means really by a relative scale. But regardless of its relative scale, it's really good information to know the differences between temperatures, because that gives you a lot of information in a lot of different fields. So for myself, I worked in the water damage restoration, and if I were pointing this along the floor here and it had water on the ground, it would be showing dark purple puddles and really help me to visually identify the spread of water very, very quickly. And I imagine, say, if I pointed at the ceiling, if you worked in insulation and things like that, and you're trying to figure out heat loss and where that was happening, you could easily find the cool spots in the ceiling and realize maybe that spot needs a little bit more insulation, or maybe something's wrong with that insulation there. But there's a lot of other industries that require different thermal imaging needs. So for instance, maybe you're working electronics, you want to find out what parts are overheating. That's going to show that really quickly, just like how this screen is showing that my iPhone is a little hot. You could also be in diagnosing engines as well. There's just so many different uses for a thermal imaging camera. But anyway, let's get back into it. Let's look at the app right now. If you look at the app, in the bottom left corner, there is a temperature icon. Let's just hit that. Now, with this temperature icon, this is the different ways that you can measure temperature on the screen. So I think one of the most useful spots that you might be interested in is, say, the point system here, which really means if you want to measure different points on the screen, you can customize that straight away. So let's say I want to measure this banner in the background, and I wanted to measure, say, the cool spot of the ceiling. Now, what happens is the points that I've pressed down, they will register at the top left with their temperatures. So P1 you'll see on the screen there as a 22.5 degrees, while P2 is 23.5 degrees. And I could put even a third one down on the floor there, and that says it's about 24 degrees room temperature. If you wanted to get rid of any of these points, it's just as easy as pressing delete. It clears up the screen. So that's the point system. You could go to line, and really this is just about drawing a line on the screen. What it does is it measures the top degrees somewhere on the line and the coolest part of that line. And that changes depending on the temperatures. And as you can see, it's doing that right now. You can see the blue dot and the red dot moving up and down. But I'm gonna press delete to remove that. You can do the same sort of function with a square. So I'm going to just draw a square around my iPhone, and it's gonna give me the hottest part of the iPhone and the coolest part with those dots moving. You can do the same with a circle if you wanted to, just depending on the shape you want. And if you ever want to return back to the usual setting, the default is all, which just means it takes the top and bottom temperatures in an area that covers your whole screen there. Now the font section is just about changing the colors of the font of the degrees that are showing up on your screen, but that's okay. We don't really need to fiddle with that now, and you can press delete. What I want to show you next is the color palettes section. So in this just depends on what you really prefer. For me, I do like the default iron red, but you can change it to say, I think one that's popular is the red hot. This really highlights what is elevated in temperature. So probably not probably useful in water damage restoration, figuring out low temperatures, but definitely for overheating components and things like that, I imagine would be really useful as it highlights elevated temperatures really, really well. But yeah, it's just really what you want. You can change to green, medical, night vision, jungle, just really what you prefer. In this case, I'm going back to iron red. Let's stick with that. Now, the next section here is just the camera section. From here, you just want to either take a video or a photo. So if you press that red dot there, you can start taking that video nice and easy. You can even take photos while you're doing it. So I'll just demonstrate that. I'm gonna press stop record on that. And then what I wanna do is show you the gallery. Just like any other any other phone, it's gonna have a gallery. You can see the files that you've taken, which is nice and easy on the screen. You can press play to view what you've filmed, which is easy enough. If you want to send that to your phone, or if you want to send that to a computer, it's easy as pressing select and just selecting the files you want and pressing share. Now you can send that to your computer, like I was saying before. You can save it to your phone. There's a lot of things you can do with it, right? But for now, I'm just going to save it to my iPhone here, which is kind of cool. Now, I like using that feature in combination with the picture-in-picture. I think the picture-in-picture is really good, and I'll tell you why. I have back when I was using a thermal imaging camera as a water damage restoration technician, I had to come in, I had to find where the moisture spread had gone. So there was a leak, maybe there was rain that came through the ceiling. Thermal imaging camera really helped me find where that moisture was. Now I had to put those images into a report, and I also had to take contextual images to let the client or the insurance or the person reading the report know where that photo was taken. So I often would have to take a photo of the screen, and then I would have to take a photo of the screen with the background to give that contextual information. What's good about this thermal imaging camera here is that it gives you the picture-in-picture feature, so I don't have to take those two photos. By doing this, it allows me to give all the information I need in just one photo, and therefore you really know where the photo is being taken. It would have saved me a lot of time and hassle as a water damage technician. But as you can see, I can change the temperature. I can change the transparency all I like. Maybe you want a little see-through so you can see what's happening behind the picture, but very, very handy in trying to figure out the context of the photo. And again, if you're happy with that, you can just take your photo And if you go there, you can see that the photo I taken actually has the image in the bottom left corner. Very handy. So right now, I'm just gonna declutter the screen by turning that off. But let's go to the last option here, which is just the settings of your image. You could change the brightness if you wanted to. I don't think we particularly need that right now, so I'm gonna set to about 45%. Of course, you can change the contrast. You can turn off the scale if you want to declutter your image. Maybe you think that the image is enough to carry across your point. You can turn off the scale there. But other things you can do, like you can mirror the image if you'd like, or you can rotate it if you wish. But that's about the app in a nutshell. There's obviously other settings if you need to, image settings, device details, temperature setting, things like that. But really, you just need to operate in this app. Now this app is really easy to use. I've already just gone through all of its main functions there. And you can see it works like a charm. A great thing about this camera is that it's about 25 Hertz on the screen, IPS display. You'll find that a lot of its competitors right now aren't running that 25 Hertz. That means right now it's filming about 20 frames per second, but you'll find that its other competitors are running only about 9 Hertz. So if I were to pan around like this, it would be very laggy, very choppy, whereas the ThermalMaster P3 is showing 25 Hertz. Very smooth. Very good if you are trying to show your clients the moisture meter. Okay, one thing that I forgot to mention on the P3 ThermalMaster is that it has a focus mechanism around the barrel of the lens. So, you know, just like any mirrorless camera, you need to bring it into focus. It's got that manual feature on it as well. Now, some might say, well, why doesn't it have autofocus? And I think this is about being a precision tool. So you can get the best sort of image you want rather than convenience, because often autofocus can get it wrong. So let's say I'm zooming in on my phone here. It's a little bit out of focus. Maybe the screenshot's got it. But what I can do is I'll just grab the barrel of the image and I'm just gonna make it, I could make it out of focus if I wanted to, but I'm just gonna put it into focus. That's as sharp as it's gonna get. You're gonna get that clearer image. So that's something that you wanna pay attention to. If you wanna have super clear images, just make sure that you've put it to the best focus that you'd want it to be. So let's talk about what comes in the box. It comes in a very sturdy case. But if you just open it up, there's a few things you do get besides just the unit, but let me show you. You get the insert, you get the carry case and the insert like I've shown before. You do get a, USB-C to Lightning converter adapter. That's only if you have an old iPhone, you want to plug it into your, I think it's iPhone 12 or 13. Then it has that Lightning adapter on the end of it with the USB-C female port. You do also get a extension cable. Maybe you don't want the camera to be sitting exactly underneath your phone. This is where this cable comes in handy. Let me just get it out. So it's just almost like an extension. On one end, you've got the female USB-C, and then with the other end, you can plug it into your phone. That's where it might be handy to use the rotation. So let's say if I had it this way around, it's gonna be a bit disorienting on my phone. So I could hit it twice and put it the right way up. And that's how you sort of use the rotation function correctly. But let me show you how long this cable is, just for reference. So it's about that long. That's probably about 80 centimeters worth there. But it makes it, really easy. You can make it detachable. You also do get a manual with this that comes with it. You've got your quick start guide in different languages. Still super useful to read this. It gives you the full functionality to read out. You get a manufacturer's warranty of 3 years, which is super handy. Just in case anything goes wrong, you got that peace of mind. But really, I've been just talking about the pros of the unit of the ThermalMaster P3. There is some cons that I probably want to talk about this unit, but necessarily not a bad thing. Just depends on what you want. But I think the biggest con to this unit is just the USB-C connection. You may drop this unit, and if that happens, you might snap the USB-C connection here. But what I should say to that is it's really about a trade-off here. The USB-C connection here gives you two advantages. One thing is that it doesn't rely on the battery of the unit, because what it does is it relies on the power of your iPhone or your Android. And so you don't have to manage battery levels, you don't have to plug it in, which can be quite annoying and really bad if you're on a job. You plug it in and you realize you don't have any battery. Very unprofessional in front of the client. Another thing that I'd like to say is that while this has a USB-C connection here, it is very affordable and it's priced in a way that just makes sense to get this unit. Its competitors that rely on a Bluetooth setup is more expensive by a factor or so. But also they have that Bluetooth setup. You know, it takes a long time to log in, to set up initially. This is very simple. So this USB-C connection comes with simplicity, it comes with efficiency, it comes with high quality images, everything that makes sense. But even then, if its competitors rely on Bluetooth setup and not a USB-C connection, so you can avoid that dropping and damaging of the USB connection, Thermal also has the Thor 2, a standalone camera that is very rugged, very durable, has a big screen. You want to check out the video I made about that. Both are great and affordable units in the thermal imaging market. And I'd recommend very much to at least look at any of these solutions. Of course, the P3, because it's smaller, more compact, it is the more affordable option. But I will say that both units are very, very affordable compared to its competitors. And I remember 10, 15 years ago, if you wanted the same sort of quality, you had to spend about $15,000 to $20,000 just to get a standalone good quality camera. Nowadays, technology's progressed and Thermal Master has done everything they can to make these units very affordable. Why don't you just go ahead and check these units out at agileequipment.com.au. You can buy them on our website, or you can walk into our showroom. We're happy to have a chat about the unit. You can give us a call as well. I'll put the details on the screen. So come check it out, guys. I really recommend these units in your toolkit. It will save you a lot of time and expand the way that you do your work. Thanks for watching.